Everybody, I thought I'd start by sharing my next project for 2023. This is a BMW 2002 that a friend of mine has that asked me to do a little bit of work on it. I'm not even sure what year it is. It's obviously got square taillights, so maybe 74, 75, 76. I don't really know very much about these cars. I was looking for a VIN number. I don't even see a VIN number anywhere. It's had quite a bit of body work done to it, so it's missing any stickers, but the car is in pretty good shape. It's had, looks like the door panels redone, the seats have all been redone, looks like maybe it's had some carpet. The dash is in pretty good shape. Overall, pretty solid car. The body work is fairly decent. I would say it's a 5-footer. Obviously the flares have been added. It's not an original turbo car. But it's got pretty good shine to it. Looks like they fixed most of the dents. If you look real closely, it's, the bodywork is not a 10 or concourse, but should be a pretty nice car. This car came to me with no engine. As you can see, it was pulled probably when the body work was done. I guess the engine had a mechanical failure of some sort at some point, so it was removed. So we're going to start there and then finish up probably the rest of the car. It needs some wipers reinstalled and obviously some trim and some seals. So we'll see how far along I get with that once the drivetrain is back in. The owner of the car wanted to stay BMW but didn't want to put the original engine back in. So my friends, we talked it over and searched out, and we found a company called Classic Dailies that does M42 swaps in these. But if most of you guys know, M42s aren't really anything that special horsepower-wise or sound-wise or really anything too super awesome. So we searched around, and what we found was this. It is an M42, but if you look closely, it has a supercharger on it. This is a Dowling Atlantic supercharger kit with a 5-speed manual transmission. It originally was in an E36 that the customer or the owner of the car originally, I don't know if the car got wrecked or what, but decided to pull the powertrain out of it. And we bought it as you see. The main goal here is pull the header off. It doesn't fit in the car. And then the oil pan needs to come off. It gets swapped out to an E30 318 oil pan to clear the subframe in the 2002. The engine is supposedly good running condition. It looks very clean. It's got a ECU that's already been tuned. I need to replace a couple of the pulleys, the belt, and some few other things. But I don't want to get too far ahead before I make sure that this actually fits in the car. So that's going to be the goal here once I get the oil pan swapped over. So I'll show you some progress as we go along. All right, so after a little bit of struggle, I finally got the oil pan off of this thing. Don't be an idiot like me and forget to remove the 2 bolts that go up through the transmission to the back of the oil pan here. I didn't break anything, but I'm just not very smart sometimes. So anyway, so that's unbolted. This is the oil pan that's going on the car. I need to clean it up, remove the lower oil pan, put a new gasket on there. I have a new gasket, obviously for the main part. I need to remove the crusty oil pan gasket that's on the engine block. I got the header removed, the original one. I have a new one coming from Classic Dailies that they make specifically for the swap. This is their passenger side motor mount. I need to get a couple new bolts for that because those are too long. Then over here is the driver's side motor mount from Classic Dailies. The first snag I ran into with that is this bracket fits up in here. You can see that. And originally it mounted to the engine mount right here, but that isn't going to work. So I'm going to have to fabricate some sort of a bracket to mount here. Maybe mount to, there's a bolt here and a bolt back here that needs to go in, and then the engine rubber mount to hold the engine up goes right there. So that's where we're at. I'll get the oil pan cleaned up, get the new gaskets, surfaces cleaned up, new gaskets installed, get that bolted back into the car so that we can make a first attempt at seeing whether the whole engine will fit in the car. My main concern is the supercharger being out further than the factory intake, I believe. Whether it will clear the brake booster and the steering box and all this nonsense. So I have to try to get the hood off the car as well, and then see if I can wedge that thing down in there. I'll post more progress as I go along. Thanks.